Where are we heading? Oh, that's right. We want to go to the library. Let's go to the library. It's one of the few locations I'm actually excited to loot. Could really do with a lot of books early. My tutorial playthrough, I wanted to show everyone like the best way to raid a school, and then we just never could find a school. We looked around a fair bit. I even like did some debugging and was like, maybe I should just debug it, but yeah, I never did follow through with that, unfortunately. How are we doing? Travel pack is not really that damaged. We're not going to be able to fix the lab coat. It's going to get busted before we get back to base and do that, I think. Also, we don't need clam chowder, and our inventory is more full than I thought. Maybe we should have headed back. Classy pistol. Oh, what? Did I miss a pistol somewhere? There's a plastic rake. Oh, classic. Really need a rake in this game. So here we're in a library. You'll see there's quite a lot of books, and they should be organized more or less by topic. So here we have cookbooks, which is great. How much are these worth? We could trade a lot of books to Hubbo 1 if we take duplicates. Dainty dishes. These are all, yeah, we should, you know what? We should stock up like on all books and take all books with us for trading with the hub, because they're relatively easy to transport and they have high values attached to them. So let's just grab and haul. I can't just haul everything. Why don't we go grab that shopping cart and come back? We'll do that. Probably sounds bad, but Cataclysm is the only apocalypse sim I can roleplay myself, taking negatives like languorous and fragile to replicate chronic fatigue syndrome, plus a bunch of intolerances. Yeah, people always ask me why I take lactose intolerant. It's because I'm a little lactose intolerant in real life, and just fits. I just always take it. Time to sleep. See y'all later. See you next time, Murder. Thanks for coming out, Jack. Hope you had a nice time. Hopefully, I was gonna say you learned something, but I've not been very, not been teaching. It's I'm still in that mindset of doing the tutorial. I really don't know what to do about my throat either. This is becoming a continual issue when I'm streaming. I'm having a really hard time talking for long periods without my throat like giving out on me. Like I feel really hoarse right now, and I'm hoping it's not coming through super bad in the commentary, but I am also starting to stop so I can cough and things. It's not great. Lactose intolerant. Damn, I literally just ate a block of brie. Yeah, it's pretty mild for me. The only time I really get sick is if I drink so for instance, if I go to a gas station and pick up like a Starbucks coffee that has a milk base, that'll really destroy me. And then if I eat a lot of like ice cream or a whole block of cheese or something, but I can eat like a cheeseburger, I can eat like a yogurt usually without too much problem. So it's pretty mild for me. I know other people who like, I knew a girl growing up who was like, if I eat a slice of cheese, it wrecks my stomach. So like, I'm not quite that bad off. I'm a vet with pretty broken internals. Get some zinc tabs and some honey tea. Science guy YouTuber that engineered a quote virus that cured his lactose intolerance. Sure he did. I don't you can't believe anything that's on YouTube. YouTube is full of liars. No, but I personally subscribe to the belief that if you expose yourself to it in small doses, you can actually get better. So for instance, when I used to have a really hard time with lactose intolerance, and then I started eating more dairy and just small doses, and now I find that I can be okay. It's just when I get a lot of it, like I said, if I drink a coffee that has a milk base, that's a lot of milk, and it really kind of wrecks me inside. So I do think you can get better about it. And I know I read an article about people with peanut allergies as well, who, if you take a medication, it has a very tiny amount of peanut in it, and it will over time make it so that you can actually be around peanuts without, dying, essentially. Can't have pizza as much because of heartburn. I also have very bad chronic heartburn that I can't, for some reason, they won't give me medication for, so I just take a lot of antacid tablets, which is bad for you because they're like a crap ton of calcium carbonate, which is apparently not good for you, but they won't give me, my doctor says I don't need a actual prescription for my heartburn, which I think is nonsense because it's like, heartburn is so terrible. But I also have stomach issues, so it might just be an underlying issue with my main stomach problems. It might not actually be something like, it might be a symptom rather than an actual disorder or something. Maybe that's why she doesn't want to give it to me. I don't really know. But we had that conversation, and she was like, "No, I don't think that's necessary for you at all." Like, okay, well, screw me, I guess. Grab this shopping cart so we can easily transport all these books. That way we don't have to make a jillion trips. And maybe we should be a little bit more selective than I was. Maybe we should only focus on books that have a high value attached to them. So we'll just pull this down here. Oh, we got stuck on some shrubbery. Because shopping carts and shrubs are natural enemies. Another gun. It's like the 8th gun we found today. Let's, we can't take this in a window. Have you spotted me? You did. What about the rest of you? You did not. Let's just bust the window and take it in the window. More shrubs, huh? Let's deal with the kids so they don't hit our shopping cart a bunch. There we go. Nothing on them. Let's break out this window frame. How's our mace doing? It's just fine. Go ahead and pull this in here. Why? Oh, there's a chair beneath all that gore, and I just didn't see it. Okay. Basically, you have few lactase enzymes. Here's the video. The guy's a biologist. Some of my intestine and a bit of my lung is screwed, but I love spicy food. I cannot eat spicy food anymore. I have stomach problems. It just destroys me. I'll eat spicy ramen like once a month, basically. But yeah, if I eat anything truly spicy, like I can't. When I was a kid, I really liked jalapenos. Like grilled jalapenos were one of my favorite things to eat. They're freaking delicious. I don't know if you've ever had them. We live in an area with a heavy Mexican population. There are a lot of little Mexican restaurants that'll do grilled jalapenos, and they're so good. And now if I were to eat a jalapeno, I would probably be in agonizing stomach pain for the next 14 hours while my body processed what it just consumed. So a lot of these books are super expensive, and there are so many duplicates. We're going to make a killing at Hubba 1. So we're just going to dump all this stuff if we can. Even with the shopping cart, we may end up making multiple trips. How big is your cart? 150 volume? It didn't used to be that big. I thought they were 50. Okay, well, it's going to fit a lot more stuff. Hello, fat zombie. You should not be here. This is my library. I'm shopping right now. Excuse me. Grab all this. So many good books. My goodness. We're going to come out of this with basically every skill book that we'll ever need, with the exception of maybe some of the high-end forging books. So we're just going to dump all this stuff in our cart and take it home, even the duplicates. Are you playing with any mods? I think I might have the antifungal mod on, but that's like the only thing I play with. I don't see any reason to. I also made a mod like 2 years ago called the caches mod. It just adds some underground bunker caches located around the world. I might be playing with that. I don't remember if I turned that on or not. Let's save. How do I check my... How do you do active world mods? No, it's in the options menu. Active current world. No, that's not mods. How do I how do I view mods? Active world mods right in front of me. Okay. Yes, we're just playing with no fungal monsters. I don't like fungal monsters. Just not anything I care about. And yeah, I guess not the caches mod. That's unfortunate. So I keep meaning to go back to the caches mod as well and expand it a bit further with a bionics bunker and a mutagen bunker. Just haven't really gotten there yet. And I always have something else I want to do. I should really do that though. That mod is better. It's not amazing. It was my first mod I ever made, but it gives me the warm fuzzies when I think about that, because that's I don't know. It's just because I made something. Little trick with bismuth that helps you deal with chemical imbalance that spicy foods generate due to the substance they have. It's I already have stomach issues in general. It's just that they aggravate it. So it's not necessary. These are all novels. We don't want novels. Oh, they're all novels. So I don't think. I'm sure traditional ways that people circumvent that would be helpful, but I'm pretty sure I'm just sick all the time and spicy foods just aggravate that. I don't know that anything is gonna fix it or make it go away. Like today, I ate a sub from Subway and I felt so sick after eating that I thought I was gonna not stream because I thought like, oh, I'm gonna spend all night curled in a ball on the floor for eating a sub that wasn't even spicy or anything. Are you playing on the dev branch 0.e or something earlier? No, we're on the current experimental version. I don't know what that version is. If I pull up, we're on build 10.7.7.2, which is the current. No, it's not 10.7. It's 10. It's listed as 10.7.7.2, but while I'm looking at it, it says the build is currently in progress, so I'm not sure. But it's the current experimental version. Don't eat much because it makes you sick. Subway is garbage. Subway, with the current viral state of the world, Subway is the only place I know of where people are still wearing masks to work. I can watch them prepare my food so I don't have to worry about them not taking it seriously. So it's literally the only place that that I can see. Jimmy John's is much better. What's the sub place where they give you the au jus with your sub? Like they give you the juice from the meat along with your sub. That is my preferred sub place. I can't think of the name right now. But yeah, Jimmy John's pretty well known as. Subway is not my favorite food. It's just the closest place that I can actually watch people make my food. Like if I wanted to go to a Jimmy John's, the closest location is probably about 25 minutes away from here. I'm not driving out there, and nobody delivers to my little dinky country town, so I can't actually just order food here. We just started getting DoorDash, and there's a very, very small number of places that they'll actually deliver from, so it's like a crapshoot of whether or not you can get the food. Jersey Mike's, no, that's not it. I'm trying to think. It's like I've been there several times. I'm trying to think of the name of it. They have like a conveyor belt, and it sends your food down, and you can see they literally cook everything in front of you, and they give you like the juice drippings from your meat as it's cooking. Can't think of what that place is called. It's not Jimmy John's, I don't think, but it's like they give you the meat juice, and it's like, oh, it makes the sub so much better to have that. They fixed forge stuff, yes. Do you mean that forges were not being recognized as part of a crafting recipe? I saw someone literally complain about that like 6 hours ago, so if they fixed it, it must be pretty recent. It is Quiznos, yeah. Quiznos, which is, again, not the best sub place in the world, but there's something about getting that meat juice is just makes it so much better. And again, the nearest Quiznos is like 25 minutes away from me, so again, it's like can't even do that really. Let's just dump our books on the floor. No, grabbed vehicle, yes. Drop those on the floor. Drop these books on the floor. So you should be empty now. You are empty. We'll go back and grab the few remaining books, I think. Yeah, 20 minutes ago, build 7. Okay. I've only had Quiznos once, and it was a few years ago. I don't really remember much about it. Yeah, like I said, it's just that it comes with meat. Corpses also zombify. You mean the pre-generated human corpses will become zombies now? Because that's super awesome and something that should have been around a long time. Ooh, animal corpses. That is interesting. Those are really cool changes. I have to look into that. That's very exciting. I've wanted that for a long time because this will allow. So Kevin for a long time has talked about, or maybe he hasn't, a long time ago I should say, Kevin had mentioned that he wanted corpses to spawn so that as you came up to them, they would come back to life, like kind of like trap zombies. That would like they're like traps, and then when you approach them, they spring the trap and they jump up. And this is obviously not that, but it's got that element of it. I think that's really cool. I have a PR to make zombies or dinosaurs also zombify. Original PR didn't touch mod content. Are you, Levian Fiend, are you the one maintaining the Dino mod? I've seen a lot of updates for it lately. And then I saw somebody post a picture of what looked like a zombified T-Rex, which I thought looked awesome. No, Lyle SY. Okay. I keep meaning to play with Dino Mod. I just, I don't really want dinosaurs in my game. I think it's really cool, but I don't think that I care that much. Plus, do they just give regular meat? Because I would think that would like be super unbalancing from a food gathering perspective. They probably do, right? It's a dinosaur. You would be able to eat a dinosaur. No. Oh, they don't. They give normie meat, no zombie dinos. Oh, I see. Okay, you were saying, no, you don't want zombie dinosaurs. Why not, though? I feel like if you were going to make a zombie dinosaur, which shout out to the Dresden Files, by the way. We talked about that last week. There's a zombie T-Rex in the Dresden Files. If you were going to make something a zombie, why wouldn't you make it a dinosaur? That sounds freaking awesome. Plus, like I said, they look really cool. Somebody posted the sprite of them. So we have fully looted this place. Are novels worth anything? $15 for a novel? It's just for fun. Why would these be worth so much? 50 cents. See, that's more what I was expecting. $15. So I think the new ones... No, the buddy novel also is $15. These need nerfed considerably. These are worth way too much. $15 for a garbage book that you'd never really use. Seems crazy. I guess we'll take some of these too. Shady Z-Rex is a thing as well. Yeah, I thought I saw... I don't know if that's a recent addition, but I saw something about that recently. Some of the Aftershock animals... Okay, my throat's getting to be a real problem. Some of the Aftershock animals you have a zombified PR ready for. I love dinos, but not a zombie shady T-Rex. They're penny dreadfuls. It is new, okay. Fun is expensive at the end of the world. Yeah, but they're crappy books, though. And basically that means if you raid one library, you can get thousands of dollars in trade value without really having to do any work at all. So I guess we'll take them, since the whole point is to trade with Hub 01. I'm really going to exploit the crap out of Hub 01. I never have done this before, but I did their missions recently and saw that they have good valuable stuff in their trades, so I thought, why not just try to manipulate that as much as possible? Zombie Shady T-Rex. That sounds pretty cool. Gotta be honest, sounds horrifying, but also awesome. Is there a repository to download old builds of the game? I just checked the main website, but it only had downloads for them back as far as 0.D. So I believe if you go to the GitHub, I believe you can... I don't know about exe downloads or anything like that, but I believe if you go to the repository, the Clever Raven repository, I think you can download the source code for the previous stables. And I could swear that the main website had the old stables linked, but I don't know for sure, and I can't give you a link. I don't know, but it's out there somewhere. 100%, there's somewhere that they're advertised. I think if you went through Clever Raven, in fact, didn't I have? Let me pull up my browser. I thought I had something that had all the old links. I mean, you should be playing current Cataclysm because it's so much better than 0.C, for instance. So if I go to Clever Raven, hit code, and I select the branch, they do have the old branches. If I go to 0.C, yeah. So if you go to the main Clever Raven GitHub, in the upper left corner it will say master, and if you select in the drop down menu, there are the old stables, as well as some other stuff I don't recognize. So I guess that's a way to do it if you don't mind compiling your own or whatever. I don't see any links directly to it though, so sorry, but I'm sure it's out there. Anyway, let's haul these our shipment of books back to base here. I don't really feel the need to full loot. I think we have thousands of dollars worth of garbage, and is going to be plenty for what our purposes are. Plus, we brought back all the recipe books, which is what we were really after. So we have a really, really hefty book supply at this point, which is fantastic. Really can't ask for much more than that in the early game, is to get a lot of books. So we've had a mixed bag. We've had the really good stuff, like finding a library, and we butchered all those animals, so we have plenty of meat and things. And we got all these, like, the books are just so good. But at the same time, we've also met a lot, extinguish this fire. We've also met a lot of really scary monsters. I'm not super, super happy about it. I'm a weird sort of data hoarder. I like to collect data. I have about 30 terabytes of stuff. So basically last year, I had some issues with my external hard drives, and I lost basically everything I had. Prior to that, I had, I think, 14 terabytes worth of, I mean, really just everything, audiobooks, ebooks, games, backup installers from GOG, all my videos from YouTube were stored separately, just tons and tons of stuff. And I basically had issues with my hard drives. One of them I dropped, one of them mysteriously disappeared, which I'm sure my brother stole and tried to pawn. And I lost all that stuff. And that was weirdly emotionally damaging because I'm someone who hoards stuff. All my writing was backed up on multiple drives, including thumb drives, so I had all my writing, thank God. But I lost a ton of stuff. And yeah, it hurt real bad, including some Let's Plays that never made it up on the channel. Most of my YouTube content I can re-download, no big deal, but I had actually played a Symphony of the Night Let's Play, and I had done about 20 episodes of Soden, which I had never played before, so it was like my blind playthrough, first time ever playing Symphony of the Night. Hugely popular game, people absolutely love that game. Was so excited to put it on the channel, dropped the hard drive, lost all of it, and now I can't go back because you can only blind play through something once, and then it's gone forever, and it's like, that hurt really bad, because I thought people would really like that, because it's such a popular, such a well-liked game, you know, and everybody loves Castlevania. I'm not a huge fan of the other games, but so that hurt real bad. So we have all these books. I think we already exploited Hub 01. It's been 3 days. Let's go back and see if there's stuff updated. Is the game not on? Oh, do I have my overlay up? I'll have my overlay up. Sorry about that. Definitely call that out if you if you see that in the future. OG Gup Gup is now following. Hey, thanks for the follow. Hopefully you're having a good time listening and paying attention. Again, everyone, I'm sorry about my voice. I feel so hoarse. Like I just can hear it in my own voice now. Let's go back and check if the hub has updated their inventory. And let's also take a nice long cold drink. Oh, Soden. It wasn't even, I didn't even like the game, to be honest. Symphony of the Night was like, I thought it would be more, you know, because it's so popular. I thought it would be like hundreds and hundreds of weapons, hundreds of armors, hundreds of different monsters. And then after a while, it's like, there are a lot of monsters. There's a fair bit of equipment, but also it's not as much as I kind of thought it would be. Screen is blah, blah, blah. Smooth voice. It's okay. I enjoy the smooth voice. As long as it, I guess if it sounds smooth, I'm okay with it. I feel terrible. My voice, my throat is burning me. I don't know why. I gotta quit smoking, I think, is what it ultimately comes down to. What about the car? You mean our vehicle that we left back in town? I mean, it's just easier to hit the auto walk button. And I wasn't really coming out here to sell. I just wanted to see if they updated their equipment, which it's interesting because they're still holding... No, they did not update. So it's the same stuff we saw previously. So no new CBMs. It has been 3 days. Maybe it won't update until tomorrow, because we start on day, gotta go, on day 61, we're on day 64, so I'm not sure why that didn't update. It's supposed to be every 3 days. We'll come back, though. It's fine. It was a PS1 game, though, so at the time it was pretty great. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, that's why it's so popular. I mean, it's honestly, if you look back at the PS1, not a lot of great games on the PS1. My personal favorite would be Siphon Filter, because I loved that game when I was a kid. Zombie Dog Spotted. Yeah, where are you at, pupper? Up at the hub? I'm not really worried about you. I really liked Siphon Filter when I was a kid. Both the first and second game, I believe, are on the PS1. There were a lot of limitations. Obviously, graphically, something like Soten looks much better because it's that sprite stuff instead of early like polygonal 3D stuff. So obviously much better from an art perspective. Plus it's dark and kind of creepy. Plus there was really nothing else like it going on. Castlevania by that point already had a great history of being there's like the originals on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. They were obviously already an established franchise. It's like very unique. There's really nothing else like it back then. So I think it earned a lot of the love that it gets. But for someone coming in who doesn't have that nostalgia, it just didn't really speak to me, you know? I don't know. Nothing wrong with it, exactly. The gameplay is just a little simple. You know, jump, slash, land, slash, block with your shield, use the magic, whatever. Plus the magic was like fighting game inputs, and I could not get that to work. I had such a hard time with that. I'm terrible at fighting game inputs. So we can't go to the hub to trade with them. Let's scarf down some more meat here. Cooked meat. Trying to put some more calories in us. We are, okay, we did shift up to overweight, which is where I like to be, is right between overweight and normal. So we don't need to worry about calories too much. Slow down, we're warm, etc., blah, blah, etc. Favorite PS1 game is obscure Japanese game where basically you just played a kid during his summer vacation, goofing around, and then weird stuff happens, called Boku no Natsuyasumi. I've never heard of that. I feel like no. I know a little bit of. I don't want to say it doesn't matter. Anyway, moving on. So that's interesting. Yeah, PS1 was did have a lot of those random obscure stuff. I remember when PS2 came out, I had a girlfriend whose little sister would beg her mom for all these games that were 100% in Japanese. And they had a Japanese, because like if you had a PlayStation, I believe it was based on location. So like a PlayStation 2 in America would not run games from Japan. So they had a special PlayStation just for that. And she would play all these games that were not even in English. And I never understood how she managed to do that. I guess we go back out looting. We hit the library. I don't really know what else to... I mean, we don't have booze. It would be nice to pick up some bottles of alcohol. Why don't we do that as well? That'll help with our morale in the future as well. You could set up traps. It had environmental kills. That's cool. I'm not sure why a kid during his summer vacation would be killing... Oh, that's a different person. My bad. I thought you were talking about a kid on summer vacation murdering people. Which sounded like an interesting game, but also, you know, questionable. What are you going to do? No, you're talking about Kagero? Kagero? I don't know. I've never heard of that one either. I wasn't really well versed in the early PlayStation 2 type games. I grew up as a Sega kid when I was really young, and then I shifted to PC pretty quickly, so like I wasn't a console kid until like the 360 came around and I started getting back into it. You could set up traps, had environmental kills. Very little text and dialogue, so it's still playable for people who don't speak Japanese. Yeah, I've played games like that. Back in my day, I may have played a lot of like, you know, questionable visual novels in my teenage years. Things that maybe shouldn't be mentioned in polite company, that sort of thing. So I've definitely played some Japanese games out there that are, you know, partially in Japanese, but still understandable as a non-Japanese speaker. What about Jet Set Radio? I've heard things about it, but I have not played that game. Or, hold on, my stupid browser is being an issue. No, close. No, close. It's not closing. Why are you not closing? There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Yeah, I've heard about Jet Set Radio. Never really interacted with it in any way. Porn is the universal language of the world. So I, as a teenager, maybe had that attitude. But as an adult, I feel like pornography rots your brain. and is basically poison. I think that anime and furries and stuff have a disjointed view of like attraction and arousal because of things that they've seen, and it distorts their concept of healthy relationships. There are a lot of guys my age who grew up on pornography and now have an unrealistic idea of what a relationship or sexual contact should be. So I know that this was probably a more serious discussion than you intended, but yeah, I don't partake anymore. I'm not into that stuff. I avoid it like the plague because I think it's bad for your brain. So, but there was definitely a time, particularly when I was like 12 to 20, where I was very much focused on that and almost exclusively that. I was a very unhealthy young man. Are any of these kegs full? This one does have booze in it. How much booze? How much do you have? 90 pounds. That's not right. Is it 50 liters? Stout. 200 stout. I guess that's the full keg worth. Dream keg. Ha, that's the same with the new generation. Yeah, I mean, I think that the internet has made it more difficult, and more of an issue. I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with it if you can approach it in a healthy way. It's just that when young people invest in things, they tend to obsess. So like we're talking about video games, right? When I was a kid and the Sega came out, it became my whole world for a little while when I got my Sega, right? And it's kind of the same thing with pretty much anything in life, and that extends to pornography. You hit a certain age and you obsess, and it becomes your whole world for a little while. And I think that is where the issue lies, because if you like reinforce that and it becomes a daily part of your life for whatever, a couple days, a week, or whatever, it becomes so ingrained in you that you never let that go as you age, and then that later on causes issues with real world interactions. So I don't know. I was able to pivot away from that, so anyone can do it. It's not like I'm talking about like, oh, you're a huge deviant or anything. It's just I don't think it's good for you. So I think we're gonna haul this because I don't want to drop my mace. But I do kind of want a keg. I should have brought the cart back out here now that I'm thinking about it. Why don't we do that next time? Because I think there's probably going to be a lot of bottles in there, which we should probably pick up and take back to base. Slow going, slow going. I'm married. I can't watch porn anyway. Well, I don't know what to say about that. Okay. We should probably pivot off of porn. I've said porn about 15 times. And yeah, probably not the best thing to put on YouTube because I think they probably will have an issue with that. So I'm going to pivot. Let's pivot. How about booze? You like booze, don't you? I don't think being married prevents you from having any alcohol. I'm not a huge drinker. I certainly wouldn't drink a bunch of stout, personally. But, I enjoy a drink now and then. I like a Manhattan or an old-fashioned. Those are my go-to alcoholic beverages. Go-to alcoholic beverages. I like bourbon. That's my deal. I don't like beer. I like wine, okay. Don't like beer, ale, stout, any of that stuff. 50 liters of alcohol. I mean, sometimes you just come home, you have a long day at work, and you're just like, sweetie, hand me my keg. I need to relax. Classic. So we're going to bring this down. We're going to just collect what we can out of the liquor store. We're already here. It never really hurts to have a whole huge backlog of alcohol. It really helps with your mood in the game. Let's check these other kegs as well. Barley wine. That sounds really gross, but I suppose we'll take that as well. Let's just dump it with advanced inventory. So put this here. Put this... Nope, screwed it up. Put this here. Nope. And this one here, and transfer. Bam. Okay. Let's go inside where we have more manageable bottles. What kind of cigarettes do you smoke? I drink whatever's in front of me, water especially. I smoke Camel Crush, which is it's Camel. I've smoked Camels my whole life for no real reason. I just think that they taste better than a lot of cigarettes. And then the Crush are the menthol ones that have the little bulb in the filter, so if you squeeze the filter it pops and releases much stronger menthol flavor. so I like them. Menthol is very well known to be really bad for your throat, which is part of, I imagine, the issue that I have. But yeah, I'm a Camel man, always have been ever since I started. And I did quit for a period of time there and came back to it, basically, which is not great. And I should have stayed away because they are crazy expensive, and cancer is not great. I have a lot of stomach issues. Sometimes people point to smoking and say I might be getting some kind of stomach cancer from cigarettes. I don't know about all that. I don't know enough about it, but definitely need to quit. But when I try to quit, I get super irritable and pissed off at everyone, and everything seems a little bit harder when I'm trying to quit smoking, to be perfectly honest. So not really on my agenda at the moment, but definitely want to quit. Definitely should quit. It's a bad habit. Chesterfields and Luckies, I can't have them as much. I just tear filters out. I smoked unfiltered for a long time. Roll my own cigarettes because it was cheaper and because I thought it made me interesting. When I was young, I thought rolling your own cigarettes made you more classy, so I would do that. But not having a filter, I can actually tell the difference really badly these days, where if I smoke a cigarette with no filter, I immediately feel it burning much more significantly. So I do smoke filtered cigarettes. In general, I like smoking. I like the act of smoking. I don't enjoy the negative ramifications, and there's no way I can find to do one without the other. So like I tried vaping. One, vaping is not the same as smoking. It's not satisfying the same urges. It doesn't feel the same. So it doesn't do that for me. And then I started getting really significant breathing issues around the time I started vaping. And I connected those things, and it made me super uncomfortable. I would vape, and then if I took a hit off a vape, I for like a week would have really hard time breathing. So I know it was like the hot button issue there for a while where everybody jumped on the hating vaping bandwagon. It seriously made me feel like I was suffocating. I just can't do it. I can't vape. So I like smoking. Probably should quit. Definitely should quit. But I'm not. It is what it is. Don't go instant. Try to decrease the amount of nicotine until you can become independent. Yeah, I mean, so like a year ago I tried to quit again, and it was not I want to quit. It was more like, okay, instead of smoking 8 cigarettes today, we're going to smoke 4. Instead of waiting, an hour and a half between whatever, we're going to do this at a 2-hour increment. It was attempting to back off slowly. I was recording Tome at the time, and I just remember being really, really angry all the time because I couldn't go out and smoke like I normally do. And yeah, it is about a slow reduction, I think. And for me, boredom is a huge part of it. So like if I get bored, or let's say I'm recording YouTube and I record an episode and I finish a 30-minute episode, my brain says, okay, time to smoke. And it's like, no, it's only been 30 minutes. Let's do another episode. And I do another episode. My brain's like, okay, we're done. Go smoke. And it's just like, you get in a routine, and when you're bored, it's so much more like intense because you have nothing to distract you. You don't really pay attention to how much time is passing, so you constantly feel like, man, I need a cigarette. Or at least that's how it is for me. I don't know how it is for the average person. And I don't even smoke that much. I smoke like 8 cigarettes a day-ish. And if you talk to smokers, that's nothing. But if you talk to non-smokers, they're like, 8 cigarettes, that's crazy. But if you talk to a smoker, they're like, ha, you don't smoke a pack a day? You're an amateur. You only smoke 8 cigarettes a day? And they laugh at you because it's nothing. Nicotine is very attractive and addictive to the brain because you stop producing the normal nicotine amount. I don't really know what that means. It's just like, I just love smoking. I like the act of smoking. I like breathing it in and feeling that burny tingle, and I know it affects your heart rate and all this stuff. I love to smoke. Anyway, 2 hours 47 minutes. My throat is killing me, and I think I'm going to step away, and we're going to call the stream here. Thanks to everyone who came out. We had quite a few followers today. 1, 2, 3, 4 followers during the stream and 1 right before. So hey, thanks for coming out. I appreciate that you guys. 5, 6, never mind. We had quite a few followers today. Thanks to everyone who chose to follow. I appreciate that. And I'll be back sometime in the near future. I think another. Okay, everybody wants to follow. Thank you. I appreciate it. Um, we're gonna wrap up the stream. I'm not sure when I'm gonna be streaming Cataclysm next. I have nothing to do over the next couple of days, so I may stream. I may do offline recording for YouTube. I'm not sure. But if we do stream in the next day or two, it's probably going to be something like WoW that nobody cares about. If we stream Cataclysm again, it would probably be on Sunday. So yeah, just trying to let people know when we're going to be doing things. But for now, it's going to do it. I really need to rest my voice and definitely smoke a couple cigarettes. And yeah, that's going to do it. So thanks for coming out. Hope you guys had a good time. Really appreciate everyone who's been following. Again, we boosted our numbers up. We met all the metrics to monetize, and I'm so grateful to all of you for doing that. And yeah, have a good day, everybody. Have a good time.